Tower and Tropical Shirts NFL football update, where I get to talk about all things NFL. Once again, brought to you by Mango Rum, which is so good and good for you. Here we are in week 4. It's already here. Can you believe it? And you know what? We got some storylines that are really, really good. And you know what? With the writers' strike over, I got some ideas that the writers can now use based on today's NFL. We're going to start off with, how about a new show called Welcome Back Mayfield? That's right, Welcome Back Mayfield. Why? Because Baker Mayfield, who last year couldn't get himself arrested, is now playing for the Buccaneers, and he has them at 3-1 at the top of the NFC South. Hey Hollywood, here's another one. How about Joe Burrow starring in the new version of ER? Why? Well, he's got a bad calf. He's playing on one leg. His offensive line can't block for beans. He has been hit more times than a piñata at an 8-year-old's birthday. So ER starring Joe Burrow. I like that. I like that. I like that. And finally, hey writers, check this one out. How about NYPD Blues? Yes, starring those New York football giants who so far this year his play has been so bad it's bordering on criminal. Yes, NYPD Blues. Can you believe in week 4 we already got a bye week? Dang. But we still got some great games coming up. Like on Sunday morning, wake up early and you can watch the Jacksonville Jaguars in London taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Jags, they're playing okay. You know, they got Trevor Lawrence, they've got Calvin Ripley, and you know what? They're doing all right. They're still in the mix in the AFC South. However, the Bills are an entirely different animal right now. They are the best team right now playing in the NFL that's not named the 49ers. So, how am I seeing this game going? Well, as the ever-loving blue-eyed thing would say, that's a long way to go to clobber somebody. I like the Bills to win that one, probably by double digits. Sticking with the AFC, we got one of the best rivalries in football in the AFC North with the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens, well, you know, they're 3-1 and they're starting to really figure out that offense. Meanwhile, the Steelers, their offense has been anything but. It has been offensive. As Sean Scarrett would say, fire everybody, fire everybody. So, and anybody seen Najee Harris? I don't know. He is missing in action. That's a bad time to be playing at home against a Baltimore Ravens team that feels that, you know, they can put a stranglehold on the division early if they can beat the Steelers now. So, how do I see this game going? Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Dan Saccone. Sorry, Stacco. I like the Ravens to win this one. It'll be a knockdown drag-out like it always is, but I like the Ravens to come away with the victory. Now let's move over to the AFC South, where we have the Titans taking on the Colts. You know, both teams are 2-2 and fighting for the division lead. Now, if you told me the Colts with their rookie QB, Anthony Richardson, was going to be in this battle without Jonathan Taylor, I would have told you to put down that crack pipe. But here they are. Meanwhile, the Titans, well, you know, their formula is very, very simple. Hand the ball off to Derrick Henry and watch him run over and around opposing defense. Ryan Tannehill's been playing pretty well too. So how do I see this game going? I know the Colts are the upstart team. They're young, yada, yada, yada. But in cases like this, even though they're on the road, I like the Titans to win because of their experience in the backfield and at the head coach. So yes, I'm taking the Titans to win that one. Jumping over to the NFC, we got the Eagles taking on those Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are playing a lot better than people thought. I mean, they're 2-2, and they're going to get Cooper Kupp back, who arguably is the best wideout in football. Meanwhile, even though they are 4-0, the Eagles really haven't clicked on all cylinders just yet. They're still figuring out what they want to do on defense. However, they are so talented on the offensive side of the ball. Even without Jalen Hurts having a spectacular season like they had last year, they're just too damn good. So how I see this game going, I think the Eagles are just too good man for man on both sides of the ball. So I got them going into LA and knocking down the Rams. But watch out, the Rams are going to give them a better game than you think, but I still like the Eagles to beat the Rams. Jumping back over to the AFC, we've got a game that I can't wait to see. The New York Jets going into Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. There are so many subplots to this story, I don't even want to go into it. But the main thing you got to focus on in this game is, will Zach Wilson continue to play as well as he did when he outplayed Pat Mahomes on Sunday night, even though the Jets lost? Looked like Zach found his way. If he plays that well, look out for them. Meanwhile, the Broncos, their Wilson, what's his name? Russell Wilson had his best game in a Bronco uniform. But then again, you know, they're only playing the Bears, who really can't stop anybody, even though they won this week. So how do I see this game going? I got 2 words for you. It's going to be all about the offensive coordinator, Hackett, for the Jets. Because remember, in the offseason, head coach for the Broncos, Sean, whatever his name is, Sean Payton, said that Hackett did the worst job of coaching he'd ever seen. Even though Hackett hasn't said anything about it publicly, you know he wants to drop 40 on these guys. And frankly, the Broncos defense is terrible. I think Zach Wilson is going to have his first 300-yard game, get another 100 yards out of the rushing attack. I like the Jets, Jets, to win in Denver. And finally, the last game Sunday night, we've got the Cowboys going into San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Now, you know, the Cowboys have got a lot to prove here, going up against the Niners. At the last 2 times they faced them in the playoffs, the Niners have kicked them to the curb. Now, I know the Cowboys have been playing great when they win. Their 3 wins have all been by routes. But you got to remember, look at the QBs they've played. They played Zach Wilson, who was just taken over for Aaron Rodgers. They played Daniel Jones, and we've all seen that. And who they stomped last week? Oh, Mac Jones. So they haven't really faced an elite team on offense like the 49ers are, because the 49ers are really clicking on all cylinders. Check out Christian McCaffrey. The man scored 4 touchdowns last week. He wasn't even breathing hard. How do I see this game going? Well, I know Dak really needs this win more than the 49ers to get that monkey off his back. I don't think he's there yet. I think the 49ers is going to be the biggest test that they've had so far. And the Niners are in their heads. I like the Niners to win that one. So there you have it. Oh, how did I do last week in my standings? Last week I went 5-1. That's right, 5-1. So I am now, I think I'm 14-9. So I've got a better than 600 winning percentage. So I'm looking good. What's your percentage? Tell me how your picks are going. By the way, if you like what you see, email me, text me, check me out on my YouTube page. But more than anything, go out there, have some drinks, watch some games, and have some fun on a Sunday afternoon and evening if you're brave enough.